My name is Manju. I'm sales manager from Majid Al Futtaim, Tilal Al Ghaf, and now Ghaf Woods also. I just need 15-20 minutes of your attention. I won't waste much of your time. All right. I think majority of people, they are familiar that we have a launch coming up on this 23rd. Yesterday I had sent a EBM on your group which had clarified that the launch of Ghaf Woods Capria is coming 23rd of April. Okay. How many of you are, okay, we are already very limited people here. How many of you are actually familiar with this project? Have you heard about it at any point?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll just give you a quick brief on the project. Any questions you have, you might interrupt me at any point, all right? Well, in terms of location, the project is very much located next to the Global Village and IMG. It's actually between those two locations. Plus, if you look at behind me, you have got Mohammed bin Zayed Road, E311, and then on the other side you have got D54, which is the Zayed bin Hamdan Road. So on my on my right you have got the IMG, and on my right side you have got the Global Village. Okay. Now in terms of the project, it's around 650,000 square meter of space, which has been developed as the first gated community in UAE for only low-rise apartments. Have you guys heard of any other project which has got just one type of units in project, like let's say just the buildings or just the apartment in UAE before? Yeah, so Majid Al Futtaim, I think the name is quite familiar with you guys. We are mainly known for doing retail, F&B, hospitality, healthcare. We have 24 different types of business units which are focusing from last 35 to 40 years of time in this region. But when it comes to the property development, we entered the Dubai market in 2020 January. Quite an immaculate year actually, I would say. At that point when we started our journey, we started with Tilal Al Ghaf. Had any of you heard about Tilal Al Ghaf? Yeah, you're familiar with the name, okay? So when we started our journey with Tilal Al Ghaf, it was mainly known for townhouses, independent villas and mansions. So we made a note that, okay, if we are going to do Tilal Al Ghaf, we are not going to make it a mixed-use community, meaning we are never going to bring any kind of apartment, penthouses or any kind of building in the community. We kept our commitment. As we speak today, Tilal Al Ghaf has got inventory of 3 mansions, which is the only inventory, and there is no future launches. If someone is interested on that, you can ask me always separate question. Now, apart from that, we started our second project journey. That was in last year, June. That's when we started with Ghaf Woods. Ghaf Woods was something very important for us because when Mr. Majid Al Futtaim, he was alive, it was the last project done under his own supervision. Now, when you're bringing a forest concept, saying forest and actually executing forest, it's a different task. So what we did 3 years in past, we started our journey with a Japanese company. It's called Naginski. They started studying the soil. They started studying the water levels in this area to make sure that we are not going to break the pockets of investors and at the same time for the end users as well. Because if you have got lush greenery, there is a cost involved in that, and who will bear that cost? Exactly, investors. All right. Sorry.
And especially now.
Exactly, especially now. So any additional cost is involved in any property, that always happen to come to the owner of that property, be it an investor or be it an end user. All right. Now, when we started our journey, we made sure that this community is just going to be a low-rise apartment project. Now, if any project you have seen since 1996 till today, why I say precisely 1996 by the way?
That's when freehold opened.
We started operating freehold in UAE, and at the same time, first gated community of UAE was built around that time. Okay, so from that time till today, if you look at any master plan around UAE, you will always find either the partial master plan is shown to you when it's disclosed, or you are shown a mixed-use project. Any recent project, if you would remember, or any master plan you would remember, you will see in one side there are villas, one side there are mansions, and then in one corner there are apartments as well. We made sure on the first day of our master plan submission in land department, we submitted literally everything to them, that this is our starting and that's where we are going to end. That's why everything to you on entire master plan is clearly visible, making sure that there will be no townhouses, no villas, no mansions coming to this project. Only just low-rise building apartments. That's what we are focusing on. We started our journey last year with Sarah and Celia. These were the two phases which was launched on 6th of June. That was around 1,100 apartments of inventory. All the buildings were low-rise, G plus 5 level. We had a configuration of 1, 2, 3 bedrooms of duplexes. That's what we had launched and sold out on the same day. After that, the second launch has taken place for Lasina. That was on 18th of November last year also. That was sold out again in same hour, I would say, because the inventory was just 324 units. Now, at that stage, we tried launching a product which was best as per our understanding. But now when we are coming up with this launch, we have taken a major feedback from our associates. We have taken a major feedback from the clients also who have purchased in past. Now, I did come literally right before Eid holidays to this office. I met few of you people in the other office. I did ask some of the question. I would want to ask you the same question again. Now, when it comes to buying a property, what are the some of major, or I would say breaking deal situation which you always hear from your client? Without this, I'm not going to buy. What are some of the concerns? Anything. Don't worry. There is no silly questions or answers. The view. Okay. The location. Okay. Amenities, what facilities we are developing. Alright, so let's say these three things are very important for anyone. Now, any investor you meet in this market, actually it's better to say that everyone is a long-term investor in this market, because the moment you buy any property, the first thought, or I would say definitely one thought does hit everyone's mind, that is, if I sell this property or rent out this property in next 1 month, 1 year, in 10 years time, how am I going to face the exit policy? At the same time, how this property is actually benefiting me. Sorry, I'll just go on this screen. Okay. Okay, it's fine. Okay, so what we did as a result of these feedbacks, we have achieved every apartment with 100% forest view. If you look at the master plan, the next launch is going to be Capria East and Capria West. We are coming up with 1,171 apartments that is going to be launching on 23rd of this month, which is going to have a configuration of 1 standard 2 bedrooms, 2 bedroom plus flex. Earlier we had a category got 2 plus maid, but we decided how about we should not be deciding on our clients or buyers' behalf that if it is going to be a maid's room, or it's going to be a study, or it's going to be an office for the buyer. So we keep it as a flex, let the buyer decide what they're going to do with that space. Apart from that we have got 3 bedrooms, they are always by default added with a flex room. And then we have the last category, which is 3 bedroom duplexes. We all understand in this market, the bigger the unit, the lesser the inventory goes for that. That's the domino effect of it. At the same time, we have also increased the sizes in this launch. So I'm not sure if any of you are familiar from our past sizes. For example, until last launches, we were starting a 1 bedroom from 670 square feet. That same 1 bedroom has been improvised and going to be launched at a size of 830 square feet. If you calculate, around 18% to 25% of size improvisation has been executed on these units, okay? Which means what? Impact on per square feet price is not there from the last launch. Just so you guys know, because any buyer you will be meeting currently, they will be asking, how was the price last time? What was the size last time? What was the completion last time? These are some of the very common questions which a client might ask you, so you should have answer on that. How you can qualify that? Okay, if they have increased the prices from last time, they have compensated you on the sizes as well. Okay, that's something very important. Alright, okay, so in terms of the facilities, MAP's bread and butter is always hospitality, all those, retail, F&B, all that department we take care of. On this location, I don't know how clearly it's visible to you. On this location, we are bringing our school. We already have one of the best schools in the world, I'm talking about, operating in Tilal Al Ghaf. Has any one of you heard the name of it? RGS, Royal Grammar School from Guildford, UK. It's 280 years of academic holders school on earth, and we are, sorry? RGS, Royal Grammar School from Guildford, UK. Okay, it's a British curriculum school, has been operating from last almost 4 years now. successfully in Tilal Al Ghaf. We are in discussion with them and someone better than them actually. So we are in stage of finalizing the tender. The one comes with the budget code. Definitely we are going to award the school to that team or that party. All right. Apart from that, if you see these 4 buildings. Now, have you heard about a word called city centers? Majid Al Futtaim city centers all around UAE or in Oman in different locations. We have improvised and come up with the modern version of city centers that's called the district. We already have one district operating as we speak in Tilal Al Ghaf, where you have got restaurant, you have got fit court as a gym, you have got F&B, you have got like all the healthcare facility. There is Medcare. We are bringing the same but in a larger shape in Ghaf Woods as well. Okay. After we launch Capria East and Capria West, we are left with literally 3 more phases which will be launched to the market, and that's it. It's a boutique project. Until Ghaf Woods does not finish, we are not going to launch any other project in the market, just like how we had done just one project in last 5 years time. Okay, let me ask you guys this question. How was the market last 5 years time? I did ask this question last time as well.
For the past 47 months, it was only increasing.
Okay, so last 47 months, that's a very good calculation actually. Okay, so we had quite one direction market, I would say, yeah? Currently also when there is an impact going on geopolitics or stock market or any other market, if you would eye on, people are actually running toward the tangible asset, which is the real estate. They are trying to save their money from stock, from crypto, even from gold, because in last Wednesday there was an impact on gold as well. So the only market, at least in UAE, or we are attracting globally, it's real estate. So that becomes a better opportunity for you. In last 10 days time, only in last 10 days time, we had received a lot of interest in our project, particularly from US, from UK markets. Okay, UK market has been investing largely in UAE for quite some time now, but there is interest from different markets also, which is coming to UAE. Particularly, we are talking about our project right now. All right. At this stage, anyone has a question before I move forward?
Okay. It's unlike any other developers. It did not increase the prices from the phase launches.
From the last
You mean
launch.
the price of one bedroom or price per square foot?
Price per square feet.
But
So
the size has changed.
the sizes have changed.
Okay, so the earlier who bought it maybe slightly cheaper.
They bought cheaper and they bought smaller.
But
Yes.
more smaller.
Yes.
Okay.
For example, in Sarah and Celia, or I'll say the last launch, which was the Lucina here, the size of 2 bedrooms were 1,100 square feet. The same 2 bedroom this time is going to be 1,310 square feet.
Is there any reasoning behind why?
The reason is the major feedback from our clients. Matt, I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with how they develop their projects. If you look at the history of Tilal Al Ghaf, when we did our journey starting from Elan had 3 different phases. They have literally some changes within the phases itself. The name is same, the size were different, the facilities were different. Similarly, Harmony, Alaya, Aura. Then when we entered our luxury segment, starting from Alaya, Serenity, Elysian, Lanai, we started our journey from 1.25 million. The last closure was 207 million. We did not forget, we are still on Hessa Street. We are not based in Palm Jumeirah that we are launching ultra luxury segment, but all that was done based on the feedback of our clients, plus the appetite of global investors, not just the investors from Dubai. Because Majid Al Futtaim's mostly investors. If you ask me, Manju, who are your current buyers? There are none from UAE. Majority of our buyers, they are coming from UK, they are coming from European countries. I have a lot of buyers coming from Switzerland currently. We all tend to go for holidays in their country. Why are they coming here? The reasons are quite known to anyone or everyone. The taxation, the cost of life, that is quite steep when you talk about these countries. Germany, they are hitting their residents with huge taxes, and if you want to exit, they are charging you 25% on literally on your furniture even. What worse you can talk about. So there are major reasons that the buyers are moving to these countries, and we are taking major feedbacks from them while we are developing our project also. Because if we can successfully attract a client from a different country who knows nothing about MEF, I think it's a win for us in this region by default. Okay? All right, now about the payment plan. See, I have sent a lot of information over a period of time to you guys again and again. I will not bore you with too many numbers with there. Okay, the payment plan is quite easy, and I think what we saw in current market, it was one of the most comfortable payment plans. Do you know what is the payment plan for Ghaf Woods? Launch is in 10 days time. 60/40 is the payment plan. When is the completion? 2029 June 15th, that's our completion, and that is linked with the construction of the school as well. Okay, we have recently finished our office in Ghaf Woods for Ghaf Woods project itself. There is a show apartment also. We are making the show apartment of what we say 2-bedroom plus as well, and a 3-bedroom as well, which will be very soon ready. But like I said last time to you guys, visit it, you will get a different kind of confidence sailing in this project. Generally, that doesn't happen in this market, that you have got a new project and the developer is also making a new office for that new project. You sell it from just single office all the time. That's a classic approach in Dubai market. Majid Al Futtaim slightly probably like to work slightly different in this
What do
case.
you think about Ellington neighborhood?
We have a lot of neighbors actually. If you look around after this, we have got Arabian Ranches Street, which is an inhabitant community as we speak.
Is it apple to apple the same type of?
Apple to apple, there is no comparison for.
Because Ellington doing the same low rise, doing the gated community.
Ellington is not a gated community. The one you are talking about next to the
Yeah.
Arabian this
Eagle Hills.
Eagle Hills, what you call it. Yeah, it's not a gated community. No.
It's not that big.
And they have, I think, 4 or 6 towers, 4 buildings. Yeah. I tried finding some examples. The only example I could find in UAE, that's 7 Heaven by Barari. We learned big time from their mistakes also. How are the sizes in 7th Heaven? Are you familiar with the sizes?
Yeah. It's too big.
So let's say if 1 bedroom is 1,600, 700 is your terrace, and then 900 is your apartment. That's where the hammering of service charges comes on the clients. So if you're paying service charges, even if it is 25% on the balcony, you are still ending up to pay a lot. Service charges here, it's around 18 dirhams on your internal space, and on your balcony, that comes to 25% of the charges. Okay. Now, none of you asked me a very important question. Why this? Why not anything else in UAE?
Can we guess?
Guess.
Who has these options?
Because of the forest.
Forest concept, you think?
Why it's unique?
Why you think, like, okay, you will meet client tomorrow. If you tell your client, Mr. A, you should buy in Ghaf Woods. But if you yourself is not convinced, how are you going to tell him that this project versus literally all the projects in UAE?
Because the gated communities.
I'll give you some of it.
Because of the space between
between much more than the JVC.
Okay.
More value than JVC.
Yes.
I think there is a lot of
One.
communities in Dubai has a greenery like it, but Tilal Al Ghaf has made the forest concept.
Yes.
So the number of trees, the greenery there will affect to, as they say, to reduce even the temperature a little bit. So you will have the feeling to experience to live really in forest. Besides, there is some hills, there is some kind of diverse
Diverse
level of.
landscaping.
I understood. This is carless community. All the car goes down.
Exactly. The entire project
So the
works on 2
pedestrian
different
eyes-
levels.
Yes.
So what is visible to you green here,
So-
that is absolutely carless. Trust me, so many families, small families have come to
But there is
me.
an export. The same concept. Carless.
Carless community, but again, I'm talking about a gated community of just low-rise apartments. Trust me, when, I was studying myself, I did all south, north, east, west, all the comparison myself, couldn't find something similar, okay? Now, what is visible to you, the green zone, that is completely carless. All the buildings, they have got 2 lobbies. One of them is on a lower level. That's where you are driving entire project. Plus, there was a major event last year of flood. We learned big time from that, and we have done flood prevention also. See, living in a forest concept and making it as much as possible sustainable, that takes a lot of hard work. What we have done, we have even done the water wells around the project, which is going to prevent the floods. But the flood is going to happen once in 3 years' time, once in 4 years' time. In last 6 years' time, there were 2 floods. One was last year in 16th of April. Before that, it was 23rd of January in 2020. So 5 years, 2 floods, what are we going to do with these water reserves at that time? There is a cost involved to maintain that. We are doing grey water arrangement, guys. Do learn about these very small techniques, will help you a lot. Grey water arrangement is a concept where every drop which is consumed by a family in any of these apartments, that water is accumulated by us in these water reserves, and we are recycling that water to do the irrigation of entire 650,000 square meter of space. Plus, unlike, okay, what is a classic approach of a building in UAE? You have got gym inside, you have got pool inside, you have got any kids play area, cafeteria, whatever is there, it's literally shoveled inside the building. We completely remove those concepts also. Any building you look at here, we have a massive master plan, that's why I keep telling you have a look at the master plan in our office. On the top of every building, rather than putting a pool or any facility, we are doing solar panels. We have done it in Tilal Al Ghaf massively, we are doing it here as well, keeping it more sustainable. Plus, I asked one question last time, do you guys know why the service charges of any building is always higher than comparison of a villa or mansion or townhouse? Why?
Electricity.
The consumption and the usage of facility within the building. At the same time, it also takes a toll on the age of the building. Like let's say in morning you want to go to gym, you want to go to office, I want to go to kids play area. We all three are waiting for that elevator, just like I was waiting downstairs right now. So the consumption of electricity is happening, the aging of the building is happening faster because the facilities are used literally multiple times in a day. What we did, we took a concept of community, like how you know there are 300-400 villas, then they have an independent clubhouse, they have an independent pool area, they have got all the facilities literally independent outside. We literally did the same. So Capria East and West, they have got their large clubhouses, pools up to 45 meters of space. Okay, and at the same time, we have improvised facilities. Now, if you're living in a 2-bedroom apartment, can you host a large party there? No, not possible. Yeah, what we have done, we have even done banquet halls here, which can be rented free of cost by the families, and done their, gatherings, birthdays, whatever the facility they want to, the occasion they want to celebrate. At the same time, we are also developing workspaces. This concept we started from Lasina, and it was a superstar concept what we had adopted, because if I'm giving you apartments and I'm giving you a workspace right under your apartment, you don't have to necessarily go to the office, and that we have learned in last 5 years time that you don't need to be in office to function all the time. Okay, some of these concepts, if you understand that, not hard to learn about the project or scale the project further on. Okay, now if I have missed out something, you guys can ask me, but I want the entire team part, I want your help in that. Next week you guys should be in my office, because what you see there I cannot visualize for you guys on this spot, and I don't want to do the slide presentation like a teacher so you guys get bored more further on. But some of the important aspects why this project versus everything in UAE, I just spoke about that.
And so this is the best thing on this one is the best unique.
Then why I have not seen you in my office.
It's very hard to get to.
Really? Then why I'm coming second time to your office? To make you guys believe that work, I did mention earlier that this time we are going to give priority on 2 bases. As an individual, how early you have submitted EOI, in your case you have missed out that part. As a company, how many EOIs do you guys get? So on 23rd, when we are going to release, the companies who have submitted above 6 EOIs, above 8 EOIs, they are going to come 2 hours in advance, book their units and go. So we are giving that privilege to companies. We are still having that time. We still have almost 2 weeks, let's say that. And we can achieve that mark for ourselves as well. Plus, we are going public on 24th if inventory left, subject to the inventory availability at that point. Okay, so work, sorry.
No.
Yeah, all good. Anyone else has any question at this point which I didn't answer?
How many buildings and how many units are there in
So in this launch, we will be coming up with 1,171 apartments to be precise. The highest inventory will be 1 bedroom, and then as we go bigger size, the lower the inventory will be. We will be having exactly 17 buildings launching in this launch, which is a configuration between G+7 to G+9. You will never see a skyscraper of G+50, G+100 in around any of our communities, or precisely in this project I would say. We have these 4 buildings, which is the part of district, and this is outside the community. Community is 100% gated. That's why we have put down the district, school, healthcare facility. All of them, they are outside the project.
So all park,
Sorry.
so all parking is down.
Yes, so every building has 2 lobbies. You park your car on your lower ground floors. Remember, no basements. Please don't use the word basement because the moment you say that, it's associated with dark and gloomy spaces, which is not the case here. We have got a lot of natural light flowing. There is a lot of sunken garden provided in these in this area in journal. So they are not just dark and gloomy spaces like Blue Water basement and JBR basement. Just to compare it. Yeah.
Just mention the 1 bedroom and 2 bedroom sizes and prices.
So, okay, just give me a second, I'll actually put that slide so you guys can actually see that.
How to store them? Lower ground or underground?
Lower ground, you call it lower ground. The parking is always a lower ground. Every building has got 2 lobbies here. One lobby where you drop your car, you can host your guest and there is a hosting area also. Then you can come on the ground floor, which is completely carless. Very good for children, very good for elderly people. On ground floors, you can use your cycle bicycles, you can use your golf carts in future, and it's pedestrian free. So it's for the pedestrians as well. All right, but cars only on the lower ground floor. There is no car on the main level.
How do you call it? Skylight? You're saying that there will be natural lights.
Natural lights because we have done a lot of sunken gardens. Sunken gardens which are open to the sky.
So the topography is like a little bit.
I'll send one video after this meeting. Just have a look. It's a 28 seconds video that will answer what I'm saying right now. All right? Yeah. Just give me a second, please.
Something lifestyle.
Okay. Sorry, I'm good in sales, but not in IT. All right, we have some colors here, but at least numbers are visible. So you were asking me about the sizes and the prices. 1 bedroom starts from 1.5 million and goes up to 1.8 million. The sizes starts from 830 square feet, goes up to 1,000 square feet. The 2 bedroom standard starts from 2.4 million, goes up to 2.8 million. I have sent this slide over 8 times on your group, guys. It's there over 8 times sent by me. I counted it before coming here. So, okay. Of course, if I'm coming here, I have to, give a little bit of stinker so you guys start working a little. Sorry.
Can I throw one objection?
Please, do it.
Not gonna like it.
No, it's fine.
What if let's pretend that the client love the concept,
Okay.
motivated, they've seen your track record, what you have achieved, what you delivered, prices, but in terms of connectivity and location, for the price point I'm getting, I think that, let's say, doing that in business bay,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So the business bay is already like prime location. That area is
You didn't throw me an objection. You actually asked me a very easy question. This I just experienced while coming. I came from my office, which is Ghaf Woods. It took me from Ghaf Woods to enter the Al Ghaf bridge, which is toward the business bay. It took me exactly 11 minutes time. To reach from that bridge to your office, it took me 15 minutes time. Why should I stay in business bay if I have something to live easy? I rather drive extra than get stuck in traffic and among the buildings. The idea, see, you have to learn what people want these days. Okay, you have got enough of buildings in downtown. You have got Old Town, New Town, everything. Every brand is doing buildings here. But what exactly people are demanding from you? People are tired with looking at high skyscrapers. Sorry, just a second. Yeah, people are tired of looking at those skyscrapers. Everyone wants what? They want nature around them. The life is very busy. People want a laid-back lifestyle where they come home, they can hear some birds, they can hear some nature around them. They have this yoga, Pilates, laid-back clubhouses. They can go around the lazy rivers. And they want, most importantly, a safe zone for their kids or their parents, or for themselves as first also. So it's not about a nice branded Baccarat building, it's also about what amenities am I getting in that building. Okay, I might be getting a roof garden. I did see one project recently came where they have made a forest inside the building also. They have literally deers walking on one of the floor. I don't know which project is that. Yeah, I did see one of my senior agents, she had posted that, but I don't know which project is that. Any which ways, that is there. But the idea of a gated community does convince everyone in this area. Let's say tomorrow if you're buying a property for your family, you would look at, okay, where my daughter can go for a schooling. If it is on the literally walking distance, takes one of the biggest take. Okay, if the school is of that caliber, for sure. If you're getting all the retail F&B requirement literally on 5 minutes driving distance, takes the biggest tick in the box. Okay, at the same time, the payment convenience. If I'm telling you, let's say, forget about the lowest one, let's talk about the highest one here. 4.6 million if I'm asking you, I'm not asking you this money today. You have got 9 installments to be paid in next 4 years of time, and every year you are just paying 15%.
But I might get a twin villa or standalone villa from Mars, and I'll get project amenities.
See, at that point, if someone is looking for a villa, that's a different concept. But again, we have earned a category called the garden units. Okay, now let's say a villa. I'll take my example actually in Tilal Al Ghaf, a 4-bedroom in Harmony. Does anyone know the last transaction cost? 9.4 million, guys. Okay, 9.4 million. I sold that unit for 3.2 million. Let's say it's 5 years. You know, market changed and all that benefit has been earned. The size of villa is what? 3,400 square feet, 3,500 square feet. Divided by 2, how much is the space on my single floor? Come on, give me numbers fast.
The footprint.
I'm talking floor, how much per floor we are seeing. Let's say around 1,500 square feet, in which I lost the space in staircases, I lost the space in common divisions, which has been done in the house. I'm left with around 1,100 of carpet area in my villa. If I tell you I'm giving you 2,600 square feet of a net area on single floor plate, trust me, I can convince that client from the villa of 9.4 million, give him a most expensive unit of duplex at a price of 5.6 million and convert him, because I have done that already. So villas, they are overpriced. That's why the people are moving, the small families are moving toward apartments lifestyle.
But the off plan is this. There's a gap.
that's right.
Yes, there is a gap in off-plan, but we are again looking at something lifestyle. You have to look at the entire community as a concept at that point.
But still, I'll pay more service charge.
Yes, but at the same time you are living. If you are an investor, then you are looking at the premium on your equity also. So let's say what we are launching this time, the next launch will be having around 10% of gap, 10 to 12% of gap. Why? Because we are entering the luxury market at that point. And luxury, the word itself costs a lot of money. So if we say luxury and I tell you, okay, I would sell you, I'm talking about the right numbers, I'm not bluffing at this point. We are actually going to have a 4-bedroom for a 10 million, but it will have its own value as well. So the kind of patient, the kind of treatment, that's what we are doing here. So don't worry, every client you have got, there is a solution to convince that client. Anyone, just to give you a ratio, out of 10 meetings I'm doing currently in my office, 9.5 is the conversion. What more to tell you?
Of course.
That's because if the clients ask, we ask the client, okay, give me a fair comparison in UAE. Forget about Dubai. Dubai is done. It's a lot of competition going on already. But the moment we did as a lagoon project in 2020, suddenly, mashallah, you saw a lot of lagoon coming around the town. Now, when we started the forest last year in June, there is a lot of forest also coming to the town. So I think we have done something right in this region. Correct?
Can I ask?
Yes, please. You should come to my office for sure. I need to meet you one-on-one. And you come with your client actually. Yeah.
If I don't come back, you know, if I don't come back to
I will update further about it, don't worry.
So, can I share my humble opinion?
Yes, please. Go
The
ahead.
price justification.
Yes,
I think that the cost of the creating this community is
it's quite high.
really
Yes.
expensive.
Yes, it is.
The digging the huge low ground is not.
It's not big, my friend. Yeah, that's where I need to correct you.
Yeah.
Dubai is, or in general, UAE is known I'll clarify this concern also. Dubai is, or UAE in general, it's known for its highs and lows. Okay? When we did our first project, Tilal Al Ghaf, you know the meaning of
Like
Tilal?
this, yeah. Tilal is
The hills.
Hills, yeah.
Okay, we utilized the elevation of entire land in such a way it prevented us from the flood. Last year on 16th of April, my neighbor community, Jumeirah Gulf Estate, people were using jet ski there, while I did the biggest transaction of my career history in that office, standing with a client of 207 million. If there was something wrong with the community in terms of, you know, flooding or something, Arabella in nearby got flooded, so that would not happen. Now coming back to the Ghaf Woods. When we were doing research in last 3 years' time with Nagensky, which is the Japanese company. Yeah, Nagensky, they are the one who did the study on the soil. They did the study on the lands, okay? They literally gave us the report not from hundreds years, from thousands of years. If you look at the Google, their 3 years work, they must have done something right, okay? So they told us this region was actually never desert, thousands years in history. There were actually a lot of greenery, there were valleys, there all that we thought that has been achieved. Now, if you do the water level today, UAE's water level is very good. On 3.8 meters, you can actually dig out the water. Very, very good. We were very happy. If you Google right now, open the map in front of me, there is a water pound, natural water pound on the side of Ghaf Woods. You can see it right now while I'm speaking
What
to you.
about oil?
Sorry? Then I will be talking to you right now. I will just buy a share in the land and then be happy, not contributing in that. See, on a serious note, guys, we just did not wake up one day and decided like we are going to do forest concept. And MAP's reputation is already established in last 35 to 40 years time.
So there
Why?
won't be the digging, so that you take advantage.
We have
of
taken the advantage from 3.2 to 5 meters, which is your normal ground. So when you are on your ground floor, technically you are on first floor. You get it? Does that answer your question?
Amazing.
3 years hard work takes a lot. All right, I think, yes please.
Yes, sorry, maybe I missed that. The difference between the garden home and the normal apartment is like
The garden units are the ground floor units, guys. Yeah, why we are calling them garden units this time? Because they are giving you accessibility to the nearest facility. So they are actually townhouses, but with a bigger floor plate on a single floor. So rather than people running from the ground floor units historically, we are actually attracting more end users toward those units. Okay, because they are getting more space. If I have a townhouse in Elan for 2,354 square feet of a 4-bedroom, and if I tell you I'm giving you a 3-bedroom of 2,300 square feet without dividing your space, which one will you choose?
Yeah, exactly.
Makes sense, yeah? All right.
Just one more question.
Oh, okay, tell me.
No, you're presenting very well.
All right,
Learning
thank you.
from also.
Tell me.
Guys, I lost my. Okay. Everybody's looking at me. It's okay. It's okay.
Actually, I have to rush for a meeting which they are waiting for me in office. But please, if anyone has any other question which you guys want to ask, yes, please.
What is the best way to get you?
Submit UI. And if you have a bulk buyer, even better. I will book you on 22. Forget about 23rd. 5 units and above is a bulk. Okay. Mix it 1, 2, 3, whatever the division you can. Bring it to me and I will book you units on 22. We will go to the market on 23rd, but bulk we are going to give priority on 22nd. If you see, guys, some of you always keep some of the clients close to your heart, close to your pocket, because they are your regular bread and butter. Okay? If you have certain clients, trust me, for once, you are not going to give them a bad experience or hammer their pocket when you are making them invest in Ghaf Woods yourself. My investors, my colleagues, many investors have purchased in this project, and we know the vision which we are planning for this one. We will not do any other project until Ghaf Woods has successfully earned the place in the market. While, okay, last 5 years time, while everyone was launching left, right and center, literally every hour new launch, every week new launch, why MAP did not do any other project? Why we just kept, digging inside Tilal Al Ghaf? Does anyone has answer to that?
It's good for the investors.
That's why everyone, I'm talking about a net number on equity, whatever a client has invested on equity, people have made up to 538% of premium. That's that's not real actually, I would say, okay. That has actually happened in Tilal Al Ghaf. I have noticed from anywhere, let's say if the market crashes by 100%, there is nothing beyond 100% or 200%, still the people are sitting on premium. The rent of a 3-bedroom townhouse in Tilal Al Ghaf is currently 200,000, 190,000. For a 4-bedroom, we are charging 280, 300,000. So what is the limit here? And that's the same success story we are trying to build while we are doing Ghaf Woods as well, okay? And if any of you guys have any kind of doubts, if you're coming for a meeting, let me do your meeting for once. Later you will be, I think after that meeting, you guys will be ready yourself as well. All right? All right.